everyone. It's the second edition of Behan's Take. Tonight I'm going to just quickly talk about the New York Football Giants. They're going to be starting training camp Thursday morning. If you're watching it, it's today. If you're watching it on Thursday, it's today. If you're watching it Wednesday night, tomorrow morning, Giants officially start training camp for the 2017-2018, hopefully. 2018 season is going to be under the way. It's going to be hopefully a fun-packed season. A lot of expectation for this team this year after such a good season last year. Unfortunately, it ended against the Packers in the playoff game, but there should be a lot of expectations for this crew. Eli Manning and gang on the offensive line. Offense is going to be really clicking in all cylinders. Hopefully this year, because last year they were the 26th ranked offense in the league after being a top 5 offense the year before. So it's going to be really interesting to see with the additions of Marshall, our first round draft pick, and Ingram, and just pray to God our offensive line stays intact and improves from what it's been the last couple of years. Paul Perkins and Gallman, and don't forget Shea Marine, are going to be coming out of the backfield. It's going to be really interesting to see how Perkins is going to adapt in his second year on the offense. I'm really scared about Eric Flowers, but he's a first-round draft pick, and it usually takes a couple years for a offensive lineman to show up and become a beast that he's supposed to be. So it's put up or shut up time for Eric Flowers. Bobby Hart, who's a 7th-round draft pick, who's been playing okay. He's not the best, but you know what? He's in the same boat. He was a rookie the same year as Flowers. So the two of them are relatively young, so hopefully they improve and they are stalwarts on our offensive line. I would like to see a nice battle with John Jerry and DJ Fluker on the guard sides of that situation, and hopefully a healthy year out of Richburg. Obviously the wide receivers, we know it's going to be Odell, Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard, and whoever wants to fill in that fourth wide receiver, whether it's Tavares King, if the Giants want to give it to Harris, or Roger Lewis Jr. Granted, he's going to have a lot of uphill battles to climb after off-the-field issues this offseason. So there's a lot of potential on this offense to be potent, which it was 2 years ago, especially with Odell Beckham having that other, not elite anymore, but he's the second-tier wide receiver, and Brandon Marshall. They're gonna be scared to leave Marshall. They're scared to leave Odell Beckham double and triple covered because Eli's gonna be able to find ways to pick the other side of defenses with Marshall and Sterling Shepard and Ingram on the other side of the field. So it's really gonna be interesting to see with the offense. Defensively, I am as great as their defense was last year. I would love to see them do the same as last year. Obviously, there was three All-Pros on that defense and a bunch of All-Pros on going to the Pro Bowl. Granted, that's not as special as it used to be, according to fans, but obviously to the players it means a great deal. Defensive line, obviously with JVP, hopefully he stays healthy. He hasn't been healthy completely for a full season in the last 2 or 3 years. So hopefully he shows up and earns that big contract that the Giants gave him in the offseason. Obviously, you got Snacks, an all-pro defensive tackle who could stop the run better than anybody in the league. Pound for pound, best defensive stopper in the league. Then you have Vernon on the other side, who is just a stud. He's led the NFL in pressures the last 3 years, so hopefully he gets to the quarterback a little bit quicker and gets more sacks out of that deal, because he is a great player when push comes to shove. And who's going to battle out for the final tackle spot, who is going to be replacing Jonathan Hankins. It could be Bromley, it could be Tomlinson, the second-round draft pick out of Alabama. Other dark horses that I'm not going to mention right now, but should be a few in training camp. Linebackers, they're the same as last year pretty much. I'm interested to see Goodson and how he performs. He was a big name in minicamp this year. He was a good player in Clemson the year. So I'm intrigued to see. And hopefully another good year of Jonathan Casillas, who was a captain last year, and he really stepped it up and I enjoyed how he played for the most part last year. He did get second in tackles in the team tackles last year, so that's pretty impressive. Um, Devin Kennard, who was pretty well last year, I liked him his rookie year. Unfortunately, he was hurt his second year, so I like Devin Kennard. He's a good edge rusher. If push comes to shove, we won't need to rush a linebacker. With the guys we have rushing on the line, he could do damage when he gets his number called upon. And lastly, but not least, the NYPD, the secondary, the one of arguably the best secondaries in the league, with Jack Rabbit on one side, Eli Apple on the other side, and at slot you got DRC, who tied the league lead in interceptions last year. And obviously, we can't forget Landon Collins, who got robbed last year at the Defensive Player of the Year, who he was just a stud in every facet of the game, whether it was interceptions, sacks, and the amount of tackles he had last year. I'm not saying he's going to get over 5 interceptions this year. I'm not saying he's going to have a couple sacks, but his being a game changer, tackling in the box, making plays in the center field, he's going to be there for us all year long. So I'm excited to see that. Who is going to be his playmate on the other safety spot? Is it going to be Adams? Is it going to be Darian Thompson from last year, who unfortunately got hurt within week 2 or 3? He didn't get to get his feet wet as much as he would like last year. So it's really going to be interesting to see which player shows up. I could see all three play, like the Giants love to do. Granted, that was 8 years ago, but the Giants, different with Spags, but back in the day, we've seen it happen before with the 3 safety set, but honestly, not with this Giant secondary. So one of them is going to have to fit in to get majority of the playing snaps. I know they're going to find ways to play all three. Obviously, Collins is never getting off the field, so they're going to have to figure it out. Kicking the special teams, Brad Wing is one of the better punters in the league, I think. He's still very young. He did win the special teams player of the week the Giants beat the Cowboys. He was able to pin them deep the whole entire game, and it was a complete game changer for there. This guy, Kid Rojas, he's going to be a rookie this year. I believe he's a rookie. Let's see what he does. It's going to be interesting how many kicks he was going to be able to impress everybody in practice / in game situation before regular season starts. So I'm excited to see that. And obviously, Dwayne Harris is going to be our punt returner, kick returner, unless we need that quick spark in Beckham, who scored 3 punt returns last year, and they were all called back for touchdowns. But he did score almost every time he touched the ball. So if we need that quick spark, obviously Odell Beckham is going to be in the taking punts as quick as possible. So buckle your seatbelt, enjoy the battles in camp, and hopefully no one stays hurt, no one gets hurt, and let's go Giants. Talk to you guys later.